Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Saturday, the 1st of January 2022. Happy New Year. And we're going to start off this new year with a story about Tyler Bureys. Now, I told you yesterday that Hartlepool had said they put in an application with Millwall to extend Tyler Bureys' loan. Well, Millwall reject that. So, what is happening? So let's find out. This is from the northernecho.co.uk. Millwall have rejected Hartlepool United's bid to extend Tyler Bureys' loan deal until the end of the season. Bury started in today's 0-0 draw with Oldham Athletic at the Suit Direct Stadium. It will now be his final game at Pools following the Championship side's decision to keep him in South East London with the Lions short on numbers. The 20-year-old scored 3 goals in 9 appearances for the club, but spent a large chunk of his loan spell on the treatment table back at his parent club due to a hamstring injury he picked up in September. The news comes as a blow to Pools, who are putting the feelers out on the new signings after the January transfer window. Graham Lee says he hasn't given up hope of bringing Burey back before the end of the month, but for the time being, his parent club can't afford to lose him. And this is what I speculated yesterday as well. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw all of Mill's loan players come back. All of them. Hayden Muller, Tyler Bureys, Alex Mitchell, Isaac Olofi. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw all of them come back for January. And then on transfer deadline day in January, which is the 31st, 11 p.m, if they just went back out on loan to the same clubs, that would not surprise me at all. So let's have a look. He told BBC Radio T Sport, they told us yesterday that they were going to be calling him back. I tried to keep that from him today because I wanted him to impact the game in a clear mind, but he already knew about it. I spoke to him about making an impact in his last game and leaving an impression on everyone with his performance. We did try and keep him. We wanted to keep him, but you've seen Mill's numbers. They had a 15-year-old lad as a sub, so they are low on numbers and want to bring him back. We've already made the call, but if it changes in the next couple of weeks, can we bring him back? Well, hopefully they will keep us updated on that. So yeah, so even he thinks now they wanted him back straight away, to get it renewed straight away, but Mill said no, we have to wait. So will we see Tyler Bureys on the bench in today's game? Is that possible? I don't know how the registration works. Will you need to re-register with Millwall, or is it just automatic as soon as your loan ends at one club and that registration goes automatically back to your parent club? So could he be on the bench? He's played 86 minutes for today for Hartlepool United, so could he be on the bench just as a emergency sub if someone gets injured? Possibly. It'll be a bit unusual. He's just come back from injury, so but if you don't have the players, you don't have the players. He needs to go on the bench. It's also a hell of a trip going from Hartlepool United and then travelling all the way out to Bristol, so that's a fair old way to go. So that's the only news story for today. Now we're going to go into the preview of tomorrow's game, and that's against Bristol City. It's away at Bristol City. And how have we done at Bristol City over the years? Well, the first game away to Bristol City was in 1922, and it was a 1-1 draw. And as you can see, we didn't win there for the first 6 visits, and then we won 2 in a row in 1931. And then we had a horrendous spell between 1935 and 1955 of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games without a win, travelling to Bristol City. That's quite a record, isn't it? And then we won in 1968 when we were quite good. And then again, no more wins for a long time. All these games here, 8 games, and then we win for 2 in a row, a draw and a win in 80s and 90s, and then we go back to our losing spell, which is It's weird how these spells without a win are so long. So generational spells without a win away at Bristol City. But that starts in 1994, which is when our kind of bad times happened, administration, that kind of thing happened. The new ground, paying for that, messed up the club's finances and whatnot. Getting relegated from the top division didn't help, and we end up not being a very good team. And you can see here, so we weren't really in the same league as them until we were, and then we played them in the leagues and even in the Auto Windscreen Shield, and we lost 1-0 a couple of years before we went to Wembley. Lost to them in the FA Cup, and now you can see the first game we played them back in the Championship, we won 3-0, and that was the opening day game, and that was like, wow. That was after we got promoted, I think. I'm not too sure, but that was like, okay, this is good. This is good. 2010. Everyone was like buzzing. So, oh, are we going to do something this year? This is good. But then we go again with a losing run, but a run without a win, I should say. With only one defeat in 2012, and then 3 draws. And then you can see the last 2 games have been wins. So the spell that we're in right now, the run from here, 2012 to 2020, is literally the best it's ever been in terms of Mill travelling away to Bristol City. This is it. You're living in the best times right now. Because Bristol City are kind of struggling at the moment. They're in the Championship League, but how long is that going to be for? They don't seem to be. They seem to be making a lot of signings and huffing and puffing, but then they're not doing anything. They're going through a succession of managers, and they just can't seem to get something together to get them up, or get them going better than they are. They're just, and you've got to think: is this the future for Millwall? Is this the future for Millwall? Just being a perennial mid-table Championship team, and would you want that? Would you enjoy that? Do Bristol City fans enjoy it? I don't know. But there you go. Just season after season in the Championship, not really going down and not really going up. It's I don't think I would enjoy that. I would rather we got relegated so we could win the league and come back up. And that has been Mill's position over the years, a yo-yo club between the 2nd division and the 3rd division in English football. And yeah, it seems to be a position that we like to have. But like you say, the best run, we are on it now. Does that mean that the run will end? Now, there's a previous run in the 1980s, we should see, from 1985 to 1993. That was 5 games, 3 wins and 2 draws. And the one here is, again, 5 games, 2 wins and 3 draws. So, are we overdue a L? Is it time for an L? I don't know. We will see. It won't surprise me, after the fantastic performance they put in against Coventry. And that was only 4 days ago. Could be the players are kind of mentally and physically fatigued from that game, and could be picked off by Bristol City. Would not surprise me. So let's have a look at what's going on. So this is the stats. You can see, so the last 6 games, like I said, we're in this best run for a long time. The last 6 visits to Bristol City, the last one they had a player sent off and we won 2-0. But it was 1 win for Bristol, 3 draws and 2 wins for Millwall. Okay, so that's a swing towards a draw. Not a lot of goals in those games. In 6 visits, 4 for Bristol City and 6 for Millwall. So not a hell of a lot going on. And another bad omen is you look at the months that these games are played. The last 3 have been in December. But if you go all the way back to the last time we lost to Bristol City away, the 3rd of January 2012. The New Year game. And that's what we're playing now. We're playing the New Year game on the 2nd of the 1st, 2021. So is this an omen of history to be repeated? Of them winning 1-0 to end the run that we're on? Maybe, maybe not. Let's have a look at the match facts on the right hand side. Bristol City have seen under 2.5 goals in 5 of their last 6 home matches against Millwall in all competitions. Indeed, not many goals. Millwall are undefeated in their last 5 away matches against Bristol City in all competitions. Yes, yes, we can see that. Those match facts are not that interesting. They're normally a lot more interesting than that. But they just told us what we could see with our own eyes. That is what you're going to do. So, here you go. This is how we are in the table at the moment. Millwall are 11th, Bristol City are 18th. We have 33 points, they have 27 points. And in terms of goals scored, they actually scored 2 more goals than us. They've scored more goals than us, but they've conceded a lot more goals than us. But we are not a team that can score a lot of goals. So which is gonna prevail? Is their defense going to be shit, or is our attack going to be shit? Which one are we going to see? Are we going to see both and end up with a draw? But you can see they've scored as many and 2 more goals than us, so would not surprise me. And what that means is, of course, goals against is up, and their goal difference is -10 because they've lost more games than us. They've lost 5 more games than us. But they've only won 1 less game than us. So it's just the differences, the draws that we've had, where we've taken, we've got draws from games, they've got defeats from games. They couldn't get the draws. So let's have a look at form. Millwall are 9th in the form table. Bristol City are 15th. And like I say again, the difference there is a 1 draw for us and an extra defeat for them. We're 2-2-2, they're 2-1-3. And not a lot in it. Goals for 8 and 7 for us, 7 and 9 for them. Again, not a lot in it. Does that mean it's going to be a draw? I don't know. I really don't know. Are there any streaks going on? What does that mean? Draw or loss. So games without a win. They are on 3 games without a win, apparently. And defeats. They're in 2 defeats in a row. And we are on a 1 clean sheet. Yeah, we've got a 1 clean sheet. There you go. So they are on a bit of a bad run at the moment, as they went into the Christmas period. They didn't do very well, but you can see before. So let's have a look before that. So they beat Barnsley 2-1. They drew Blackburn 1-1. They beat Stoke and Derby at home 1-0 and 1-0. 2 clean sheets there. Still not scoring a lot of goals, but that was good. But then they play Huddersfield and something's happened. They ended up losing 3-2. They get a player sent off, Andy King, against QPR, and end up losing 2-1. So, and that game, their game was on the 30th of December. Ours was on the 29th. So we've had an extra day's rest compared to them. Now, is that going to be good? I imagine so. I imagine so, especially this time of year. But let's have a look at Millwall. So last time out, 1-0 against Coventry, clean sheet. First time for a long time. First one in 6 away games. But before that, the previous 2 away games, we'd conceded 2 goals against Peterborough and against Hull. We failed to score against Huddersfield, but in all of our away games, other than that, in the last 6 we scored. We only scored 2 at Sheffield United, and they did have a player sent off. So that's kind of pretty similar to the Bristol City game, where the home team had a player sent off, and then the away team ends up winning 2-1. So what will we see? Here's the strengths and weaknesses for each club. I'm not going to go through it so you can see, but one thing I will point out, protecting the lead, very weak. So what will we see Bristol City take the lead, and then Millwall come back and get the equaliser, and then unable to get the 2-1 to win the game? Probably, I'm leaning towards that, if I'm honest. I could see it being 1-1. I think that would be a bad result for us, but given the circumstances, that would be pretty decent, pretty good result. Especially you've got to see what the team is now. Apparently, we've got more players coming back. Ben Thompson, Bodvarsson, George Evans, Tyler Bureys obviously back. Will he be involved? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So there you go. Match forecast. Millwall will create many goal scoring chances, very likely. Bristol City will score from a set piece situation. Well, that is a thing. We have been struggling with defending set piece situations. We are definitely not as good as last year that we were on that. So if they are good at that, that might be a problem for us. Unless we have, like I said, the Peterborough game. Is this a game for Matt Smith? Now, whatever you think about him up front, he's very good defensively as well, especially in set-piece situations. He will win headers into the double figures. So maybe it might be a game for him, especially as he was on the bench for the last game and the other players did play. Maybe it is time to switch it around as much as you can. I mean, Gary Wright did say he put players on the bench just to giving them a bit of breather. Benicofo, we notably being one of them. So let's have a look now at the prediction. What did they do? What did they say? So they put these possible lineups, but they're not very accurate with them, to be honest. Yeah, this looks a bit more accurate this week, but wow. So prediction: teenager Alex Scott gave Bristol City a 3rd-minute lead against QPR Thursday night. But it was the same old story for the Robins, as an injury time Barbet flick would eventually seal a 2-1 defeat. Back-to-back league defeats confirm fears that Nigel Pearson's side are drifting towards a relegation battle, like I predicted at the start of the season. I didn't think I thought Bristol City would be a lot worse than they are actually, so they aren't that bad as I thought they would be. Millwall kept their name in the playoff hat on Wednesday night when they edged out an impressive 1-0 away win against fellow hopefuls Coventry, thanks to a late Tom Bradshaw goal. The Lions trail 6th place Huddersfield by 6 points with 2 games in hand. Yeah, well, don't worry about that. Let's just concentrate on the next game, and that's the Bristol City game. And they predict Bristol City 0, Millwall 1. Now, can we do that? Can we get 2 clean sheets away clean sheets in a row? It would be very impressive if we did, but I don't know. I'd like to believe it, but I don't know. So David Prutton has actually made a prediction this time. He couldn't be bothered for the last game, but he has today. So what's he saying? Oh, we're the number 1 game. You know why we're the number 1 game? Because we're live on the Sky Sports Red button. So there you go. Bristol City versus Millwall. With Bristol City's inconsistency, it is perhaps no surprise that they are lingering a little bit too close to the relegation zone than they might be comfortable with. The table remains very congested, however, so that could change quite quickly. Meanwhile, Millwall are just a handful of points outside the playoff places. If they could find a way to score a few more goals, they have only scored more than once in a game on 3 occasions this term. They could well be onto something good. The Robins' miserable home form might have improved slightly of late, but I'm backing Gary Rowett's men to edge this one. And there you go, like he says, we've only scored more than once in a game on 3 occasions. Well, I don't know, is that true? Maybe. Does he mean away games? But yeah, so if we don't keep a clean sheet, the best we can do is 1-1. Because we're not going to win 2-1. Because we rarely do win 2-1. But there you go. So, he predicts 1-0 to Millwall as well. So, there you go. That's syncing up. Now, I'm going to make my prediction now. I think you may have already guessed what I'm going towards. I think it will be Bristol City 1, Millwall 1. I think it's going to be a draw, and I think Gary Rowett's going to start off the new year just like the old year, of a draw, which, considering the circumstances, will be a bit of a decent result to come through the Christmas period with an away win to Coventry and a away draw to Bristol City, which, to be honest, we should probably be beating Bristol City if we have any aspirations, but we are struggling a bit. And I think as well, now Bristol City, of course, are one of Benicophobi's old clubs, I believe, and that might be a reason why he was arrested against Coventry, because he wants to go full guns blazing against Bristol City. Now that would be a sight to see if he actually he hasn't scored for a while. I know he's helping Tom Bradshaw score, but if Benicophobi could get a couple, that would be decent. But I'm going for 1-1 draw for Millwall. Now, reminder, of course, the game is on Sky Sports Red Button if you have Sky Sports, and if you don't have Sky Sports, you can watch the Lions live on iFollow. So there you go. This is from millwfc.co.uk. Mill travel to Bristol City on Sunday afternoon, and Lions supporters not travelling to Ashton Gate will be able to watch Sky Bet Championship meeting against the Robins by purchasing an iFollow match pass. Gary Rowett's side make the journey west to begin 2022, and for £10 you can purchase a pass and watch the action unfold with exclusive HUD 4-camera coverage, replays, live audio commentary, and much more. Sign up today to get closer to the action. Indeed. So there you go. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.